Hello, good evening, and welcome to what is the final episode of the CM0102 Super League before Christmas. And I'm delighted to say tonight I'm being joined by not only one of tonight's Cup semi-finalists, but one of the jolliest men within the community. Really does sum up that Christmas spirit. Good evening, Dan. How are you?
Evening, mate. Yeah, really good. Yeah, all ready for Christmas. So, yeah, looking forward to this tonight as well.
Yes, I am looking forward to tonight as well. Just the two fixtures, but it means we get time to really, we can play them all on just fast speed. We can slow it down. We can have a good chat and hopefully, send everyone, or at least send two managers home happy, heading towards the new year as well. Good evening to everyone watching along on YouTube and on Twitter. And of course, the live chat is open for everyone. Duggan straight in there. Good evening, buddy. Evening, lads. Merry Christmas to you both. Same to you, sir, and all your family, of course. Dan, if it's okay, as we've just got the two games, I'm in no rush. We normally have a good couple of hours. Should we do some news? And again, trying new things out, because I think I guinea pig news on you the last time with all the screenshots on the screen. Let's do it a little bit differently again. This is all the news from last time out in terms of the league fixtures. So let's start with the Walton Casuals Board of Directors being delighted with their excellent 4-2 win over Bostock. I mean, it was a high-scoring, entertaining game, Dan, wasn't it? But I think it was said on commentary at the time, and has been said the last couple of games, Stanley have just kind of given up with their season, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it was said on commentary, wasn't it? They're on the beach. But, yeah, good win for Casuals. A couple of results going their way at the moment, so they'll be happy.
And that wasn't the end of the Casuals reports, as Fabian Ayala was ecstatic at the change of fortunes. Do you like it when your players come out and say, well, it's about fucking time we won?
Yeah, but they beat us the other week, so that's an interesting one. A bit like Barthez and his.
Yeah, I remember Barthez doing it to you the other week. It's bizarre. It's as if footballers can't count in this era.
Yeah. 5 matches, they'd be down the bottom, wouldn't they? If they haven't won in
5. Let's head over to the Celtics Board of Directors, who were unhappy in the performance, losing 3-1 to rivals Haggis in the Super League. Who do you think was more unhappy, the Celtics board or the Celtics manager?
I think after the game, he thought they were quite unlucky, didn't he, Greavesy, from what I remember? He thought they were still in it up to the end, so I reckon the board will be more unhappy than he was.
Good evening, Rox, who says, who has CMO102 SL Cup fever? We certainly do, sir. But there was more reaction to this result, as first of all, the Celtics were imposed a fine by the Australian FA. Dirty Celtics. £30,000 because of poor disciplinary record. Have you, watching along, I know you're an avid viewer. You are one of those who tends to watch the entirety of the show. Have you considered Celtics to be a particularly dirty side?
I think it's all been CIOs, isn't it?
Quite possibly.
Everyone's been in, isn't it? Every booking, every red card.
And there is more Celtics news, because after the result against Haggis, and here's the big one, the board have appeared to be finally losing patience with PR Greaves. It's rumoured that a bad result in the next league game could be the end of the former one-time Super League winner.
He won't be happy with that, will he? Not at all.
Will not be happy with that in the slightest. We were discussing this because we had a quick flick through some of the news headlines, didn't we? And you questioned if he was doing that badly. And I said, positionally wise, no. But I think it's the 8-point gap between him and the top 6 is doing it. Duggan getting straight in there. TikTok Greavesy.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is we just said about Bostock, didn't we? So perhaps that's not the worst fixture for that to come up against, is it?
Quite possibly not.
Needs a win.
Next up, the East Coast Cosmos Board were pleased with the 2-0 win over Badgers. Good result for Cosmostat. Keeps them right at the top of the table. Although the table is interesting, isn't it? Again, we were talking off air. If you take your position, for example, you're 1 point off of being outside the top 6, but only 4 points off being top.
Yeah, unbelievably tight there at the moment. And from everybody, I saw everybody posting their running fixtures, and it looks like the whole of the top six are playing the top
Just
six as
playing
well.
each, yeah, absolutely. You've got to take. You can't afford to slip up at this stage, but equally, you have to take advantage of every possible slip up elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think for the second time in a couple of weeks, Coast player Mark Kerr's been praised in the papers. One for the future. Are you a fan of him on a home save?
Yeah, I am. I normally find he plays better in a 2 in centre mid, but he's been doing well for him in there. Yeah, he's been playing well.
Certainly has been in good form of late, that is for sure. Another ban, and this time it's on the Dragons, £35,000 for their disciplinary record. Dirty Dragons.
I don't remember him having that many bookings or sending offs, to be honest. But I think with the results, apart from obviously last week, the results they'll be going, he'll be happy to pay that. No worries.
Yeah. Doug will pay that himself
Yeah.
if it means getting into the top 6, wouldn't he? Where are we going next? The Fulchester board. Oh, of course, Macca was worried about the new manager bounce, but it wasn't to be. With a straightforward 1-0 win over Astor, the board of directors were delighted with that. Is beating bottom of the table 1-0 a delighted game?
It was always going to be, like you say, the new manager bounce. I think a lot of people, I'm not sure what the prediction said, but I think a lot of people had Astor down to win that. So, yeah, Macca himself would be quite happy with that. And if I remember watching the game, it was a bit of a, although it was 1-0, it was never really in danger.
No, absolutely not. It certainly didn't look like a new Astor, that's for sure. The Haggis board were absolutely delighted with the 3-1 win over Celtics, and they're very impressed with the way the team's performing at the moment. Could that level of performance be leading them into a cup final after tonight?
He's hit form at the right time again, hasn't he? Come from nowhere, really, in the mix again. Yeah,
he certainly knows what he's doing. Does the defending champion? Take it. You got the Haggis team info? Yes, I did. Got some lovely pictures and screenshots, etc. Rocks, both you and the gaffer were very forwarding with your information. The Triple P board of directors were just pleased with the 2-1 win. Let's not forget, Dragons were on an amazing unbeaten run up to that point. And of course, the two meet again tonight. Interesting one that. We briefly discussed it, and we'll obviously see the team shortly. Are you expecting either side to have made big changes ahead of the rematch just a few days later?
I think I said to you, as I said earlier, I think if Dragons had won at the weekend, we would have seen a lot of changes for the Dragon side. But as they didn't, I'm not sure we'll want to lose twice to PPP. So I'm expecting a strong Dragon side tonight. I haven't seen them, so yeah, be interesting.
You will see them shortly. More news and another ban, this time White Rose. White Rose getting a £30,000 fine because of their poor discipline. Now, I can only recall maybe one team a season getting a ban in the old versions of the Super League. So to get 3 in a week is quite unprecedented.
Yeah, we had a lot. There was a lot of red cards, weren't there, at the start? The first couple of weeks, I remember it being commented on a lot, and then it went kind of quiet, didn't it? So I wonder if it's just kind of catching up at the moment.
The Stanley board were very unhappy in losing 4-2. I mean, if I was on the Stanley board, I'd be very unhappy generally. The board, it's worth noting, obviously, that the board confidence updates are due out before the next league game as well, I think.
Yeah, I think Stanley were tipped to go well this year, weren't they? And they haven't really lived up to it. They started well, but haven't really lived up to it. So, yeah, board expecting a bit more.
Super League board Xmas Bash clearly needing a lot of hush money, says Rocks. Is that the end of the news? Not yet. The Vikings board were delighted with the 3-1 win. They're also very impressed. You've got Vikings next in the league, have you?
Yeah, massive game for us next, yeah. I think we're away at Vikings, so very, very difficult game for us. He will probably say the same, though, to be honest. Neither of us can lose that. A draw doesn't help really either. So, yeah, it'll be a good game. Did
that come into your thinking when picking your team for tonight?
It did and didn't. It did. I thought
is that what prompted the question as to what the time gap was between games?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so that was what the question was, but it was the same as it had been in the other rounds, and we'd always been all right. So yeah, it kind of came into my thinking. I've been quite lucky in that I don't think I got a injury or anything in the cup games. So tonight, undoubtedly, I'll lose a big player. So.
That brings an end. Brings everyone up to date with all the latest news from the Super League after last weekend's round of fixtures. So I suggest we've taken up enough of people's time. Should we go to the main event, Dan?
Yeah, let's have a look.
So obviously, as long as the game allows, we will do Gazelles versus Haggis second, which means we get to do the Dragons Triple P game first. And as you're saying, you're not expecting a lot of changes. Well, I can tell you you're wrong. The formation is the same, but I believe it's 11 changes to the starting 11.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, he stuck with it. That's good. Yeah, I suppose once you say you're going to just play reserves, you've got to stick with it, kind of. So, yeah, he's done well.
Interesting shouts in amongst this lot. Kaluzhny, who was signed from Triple P for 10 million, he makes his debut. Prutton still waiting to make his debut. He is on the bench as well, in amongst a number of players, including Steve McPhee, who has got 2 in 2 starts for the reserves. So waiting his chance to impress the Dragons hierarchy.
Defensive central midfield there, isn't it? All 3 of them, DMCs. All three very good DMCs as well. So that's interesting.
Difficult for Triple P to break that one down.
Yeah, definitely.
When you see, so if we look at the team, obviously it pales in comparison to the team that started the last game. Obviously, doesn't know if Rob would have made changes or not. But is there enough quality in this team, do you feel?
I like Simkoziak, however you say it. He's a good player. I'm not sure at right wing back though, but yeah, I like him as a player. Casas was very good in the last game. He hasn't had many chances this time. There's still some good players in there.
There certainly is. What I did find interesting is that there wasn't just maybe 2 or 3 of the big name players on the bench just in case. Even being in the semi-final, perhaps Duggan isn't taking it as seriously as you might think.
Yeah, see, I kind of go the opposite. I go quite strong and then load the bench with reserve team players, and if you get a couple of goals, get them out there pretty quick. But yeah, I was surprised. I thought he'd go a bit stronger than this, to be honest. But if he wins, then he's got it absolutely right, hasn't he? So.
Absolutely. He has had just a nudge that this 11 beat Greasy's first 11 in the last round. Some good kids in there. Past meetings between the sides, there's been a lot of goals. So they had the 3-3 draw.
Was that the penalties one, wasn't it?
That was the penalties one, yeah. And then obviously 3 goals shared in the game on Sunday as well. Triple P, despite their issues this season, undefeated in the 2 games though, the Dragons. Would that be playing on their psyche as well, maybe?
Yeah, that's why I thought he'd go strong. That's really why I thought he'd go strong. But I suppose, like we said, if he's lost the 2 before, then try something different.
As for Triple P, they've gone the other way and gone unchanged. So they've gone with the exact same 11 that beat Dragons last time out.
I don't think he could make playoffs now, can he? So he might as well go full strength, and then if he gets a few injuries or he can swap it around, can't he, for the league? It's not a big problem. Might as well go for it, yeah. And they were good at the weekend, so yeah.
They were. Interesting bench as well. Some players took out for. Will Zidane finally turn up for a Super League game? Chris Sutton there as he was in the league game as well. Acuna, one of those lesser players to get an opportunity. Maybe he will get a run out tonight. As you say, they find themselves 12th in the table. They're 14 points off the playoffs, so that they're not going to make that. You would argue they're 8 points clear of bottom. They're not going to finish bottom either. So this is pretty much all Rob's got left to play for. In a division that has the makeup of the Super League, where you've got to finish in the top 6 to make the playoffs, etc., Do you think, for someone who probably had loftier ambitions and for someone who arguably had a better squad at the start of the season than has now, if he was to finish average mid-table but get to a cup final, does that represent a relative successful season?
We've said, haven't we, that the league is so tight. You've got 14 sides there, very, very little between them. So if you don't finish bottom 2, bottom 3, and go well in the cup, then yeah, you can say you've had a pretty good season, can't you?
Well, let's go to kick off in this first of 2 semi-finals. Now, obviously, these are arranged as friendlies. So what I will do is, if the match does end in a draw, I don't really have much choice but to send it to a replay, I suppose, and go again. But do you have a prediction for me, please, sir?
I think it'll be quite tight, but I think PPP will keep the record up. 2-1.
2-1 to the away side. Big shout that. Dragons went on a long winless run and then a very long unbeaten, win run. Has defeat to Triple P maybe kick-started another winless run just at the wrong time?
No, I don't think so. No. I think it's a one-off. They'll be back strong again.
Okay, let's find out. They'll be back strong again, but lose this one, suggests the co-commentator. D'Alessandro. Crespo with a header. Early. Wellens picks it up. Melito. Oh, early pressure from the away side. And then time already. Not much happening in the early exchanges. Here's Petito, Melito, Candea to Wellens. Crespo now. Free kick awarded, which Candea lines up. Mackay! Oh, he couldn't keep the header down. Such a big player for Triple P. And I seem to say it every single game week. But if he plays well, Triple P stand a chance, Roy Mackay. Half an hour played in a semi-final of little incident so far. Sorry, you were going to say that?
He's done well with Crespo as well, actually. He was challenged a bit for that swap, but he's done all right there.
Foe, I believe that went in the book for Dragons. Mackay took the free kick, but they failed to convert. Here's D'Alessandro. He's strayed offside. I think the away side have been the better side in this first half for the limited incident there's been. But here come... Oh, it's a difficult chance for Dragons. Great football, but they failed to convert. As we approach half-time, there's the whistle. Bit of a chess match, a bit nervy, considering the players don't know this is a semi-final. But yeah, interesting that, Dragons made all those changes and they are holding their own again.
They're holding their own, definitely.
That's that game of little quality, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a friendly game all over it. And it did appear that Triple P were having the better of it, but not according to that. It's, virtually exactly.
That is not what we've come to expect, particularly from these two teams. Let's look at the home side first. Some solid ratings. You mentioned Sokoviak playing right wing back. He's one of the pick of the players. And skipper Lucas Radaby also having a good game. Kaluzhny not impressing against his former side. And none of the attacking players really rating favourably.
Not really seen the ball, have they? Over the halfway line by the look of that.
That's a pretty fair assessment, I would say. Condition-wise, no real issues there. Just a reminder that despite the fact there's 9 subs, we're doing the same as Super League rules. There will be 3 sub allowances. There'll be the break at the hour as well. If after that point someone else gets injured or sent off, then it's at our discretion what we do with that. Without even seeing his stats as we click over, Rob has said, unleash the Sutton for Crespo and push the arrows on the wing backs. So let's do that straight away. Crespo coming off for Chris Sutton and pushing the arrows on. So with that change in mind, they haven't got the 8s that the Dragons have got, but they do look like maybe there's been a little bit more impetus going forward.
Yeah, they seem to have seen the ball a bit further forward than Dragons, haven't they? But maybe not as much. That's an interesting sub, though, isn't it? That's you would say that's a saving him for the league, but we've just spoke about it. Not
they've got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Dragons have put forward their substitution. So we've got Prutton coming on for his debut. He's coming on for Smertin, who has been booked. Half diagonal arrow. Presume that's on Prutton. Reyes is coming on as well at left wing back. Young Jose Antonio Reyes. Got a couple of assists so far.
Yeah, he gets good after a couple of years, doesn't he? Very good.
And he's also advancing his arrows. So they're both trying to be a little bit more creative, but are they in danger of just cancelling each other out doing the same tactical change?
Yeah, I think the last thing Dragons want is a replay. That's not what they need at all. So, yeah, I think he's going to go for it and see if get it done.
Doug, if you just confirm the diagonal arrow is on Prutton for me, please, pal, and we will carry on. I'd appreciate that. So I would say from what you've seen, would you like to call it at this stage? However, with such little incident, with the substitutions in mind, would you like to call it?
I think I'll change from 2-1 to 1-0, but I don't know which way.
Does Duggan have the highest percentage of dead players in his squad, asks Rob. Well, I'm sure if he wins this and you send a nuke over, probably. Duggan's confirmed that is correct. So we resume the second half, play to the hour, see if these substitutes can improve the standard we're seeing before us. 5 minutes go by, nothing happened. But here's Kluzny and now Monero. Out to Reyes in case that's foul by Wellens. Good challenge. And Triple P managed to go away. But already it looks better from Dragon standards. But now Roy Mackay from long range. Alessandro Casillas with the save. Emerson now, but is robbed. And now Ledenev, Sokoviak. Monero inches wide. So we approach the hour. There is the hour mark. And we pause the game on 63. You said Dragons don't need the replay. Triple P probably don't mind either way. Is this where call for Vasilyuk? Maybe someone a bit bigger, more powerful up there?
Yeah, I think he'll go for it now, definitely.
Just pointing out again, Sokoviak, look, rating up to a 9. Radaby as well, up to a 9. Kaluzhny, though, still rating a 5.
Yeah, he's struggling in the middle of the pitch, isn't he?
The substitution is Ledenev off, Vasilyuk on. They're going 2 up top with Casillas in between. Do you like the look of that?
Yeah, I'm very much a 1 up front formation, but who was on the other night talking about players playing in 2s and 3s? That was really interesting. Was it Ian Edwards, wasn't it? The other night?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. Something I've not really thought about or used before.
So before Dimble, Churchtown used to play a 3. And my God, it was difficult because he got all 3 of them playing. But very rare. No, you haven't missed your game, Ian. No, mate, you're second. But it's very rare you see anyone play 3 at the back or 3 up top.
Yeah.
Triple P, Rob has played 3 up top a lot, but he's not really put the what's the nicest, fairest, most respectful way of doing it? He just seems to throw them up there. It doesn't look like he's given much thought to maybe individual instructions or how they're doing it. He just kind of throws them up there and expects them to do a job. Right, there is the change for Dragons. Let's have a look at Triple P. They've still got 2 subs available. Anyone on that bench that you would like to see come on you think could make a difference?
Yeah, I've got a thing about players that are frauds on the game, so let's get Zidane on.
Zidane to make the difference.
Yeah.
Maybe for Wellens. Or maybe bring him on for Emerson and because where else would you see Richie Wellens and Zinedine Zidane playing central midfield together?
I like Wellens. Yeah, I think he's good. Always get good numbers out of him on home saves.
D'Alessandro there on 77%, maybe a consideration as well. Could Zidane play that role just behind Chris Sutton and supply him with that through ball for his blistering pace?
Yeah.
So many decisions. What will Rob go with? 3 up top, Stephen, Inzaghi for D'Alessandro. This is what I'm saying. So 3 up top, let's just throw him up there.
Yeah.
But I, for one, I'm delighted that Simone Inzaghi may be coming on here as a big Inzaghi fan on this game. It always warms my heart to see him play.
There's a lot of very good, underrated Italian strikers on the game, aren't they? All of them. You go to
he's
all
not
those
done
top
yet
teams
either. Zidane is coming on for Wellens with a forward diagonal. All the big hitters, Simone Inzaghi and Zinedine Zidane on for Triple P now. Could we have one hell of a last half hour?
It's a Zidane winner here, I think.
Let's find out. As we resume the action, and here comes Milito, offside from Chris Sutton. Petit picks it up, and now Zidane, Emerson, Chris Sutton. Oh, Casillas with the save, and it's a corner. But the ref's given a penalty. Chris Sutton. Oh, he's missed it. Casillas has saved it. What on earth happened there? Oh, wow, it's turned into carnage. And still Triple P come forward. It's Roy Mackay. Chris Sutton tries his luck. Sutton with another header. Surely he's got to score at some point. And now Manero. Oh, Petit gets in the way. Radaby picks it up, and now Kadea wins the ball into the final 10 minutes. Is this going to a replay? Or is there going to be late drama? Mackay. Excellent tackle. Prutton now on the counter. Kesas is offside. Into injury time. And this one is going to a replay. Well, it was a boring semi-final, and then all of a sudden it shot into life. What on earth happened on 69 minutes? So Hamadic took the corner, Foe pushed Zidane, and the referee gave a penalty, which Sutton ended up missing.
Yeah, as we said, got some big players on the pitch and ended up playing a part-time centre-back, taking your penalty. That's...
Just having a look through the conversation here. Can't wait to see Rob's tweets at Chris Sutton tonight, says Rox. Imagine the conversation as Zidane goes to take the penalty as Sutton takes the ball off of him. Duggan blaming Rob. And Ian, probably much like yourself, delighted to see Dragons getting an extra fixture in the calendar.
Yeah, definitely.
It was, the shots on goal. The replay cannot be this bad. I mean, we tried our best to make that sound exciting, but that's a bore fest, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a poor game, isn't it? I don't know what will happen with the replay. I think both of them will do something completely different, and you'll end up with
a 7-6.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the Dragon stats. Skipper Lucas Radaby gets man of the match. Kaluzhny finally did get off that 5, but none of the substitutes really having much of an impact. Rob saying we will fuck them up at the organ harvester. Anyone there you were impressed or disappointed with?
I've never had much out of Radaby before, but that's a really good performance there. Is that 15 tackles, 13 wins? Yeah,
and 7 of them key. 5 out of 5 headers as well.
Yeah, really good.
And in fairness, he's done all the donkey work, really, because Udaisy's put a lot less tackles in, but he's won 4 of 4, with 3 of them being key, and won 4 of 6 headers as well.
Yeah, it's a good performance. If you take that first, 5 players on there, it's been a very good performance. It's just going forwards, they haven't been as great. But...
Duggan's saying, see them big hitters coming on for PPP and still manage 2 shots against our second string. So still full of confidence is Duggan. Let's have a look at Triple P. The subs certainly had more of an impact. You got a hospital to wave at hammers. God's sake. Again, and much like we said at halftime, the rating's not quite as high. But some notable performances. Roy Mackay, as usual, the pick. Candea did well. He's got proven Super League track record. Milito as well. Can't be underestimated his performance.
Yeah, Milito, very good player again. Another guy I like. Zidane down the bottom there. Look at that. 6 passes, 6 completed, 1 tackle, 1-1. So
can't do much more, can he?
Can't do much more in the time he had.
Perhaps he will get a run out in the replay. But the first semi-final ends 0-0. So we move swiftly on to what should be a cracker, starting with the away side, Haggis. And you said they'd announced that they picked their team, but you hadn't seen it, Dan.
No,
they go back to the team that they used, or the setup they used in the quarterfinals. They've gone one at the back.
Okay.
Three holding midfielders, 4 across the middle. Krosa makes his debut in front of Hedman. What else have we got of note here? Rasikia is in support of Elber. Jafar Bonotto out wide. And unlike I mentioned for Dragons, a couple like not having some of the big hitters on the bench. You've got Shearer's there, Amoroso's there, Okoronkwo's there. Big Danny Invincible's there too, should he be required. Your thoughts on the opposition?
Yeah, had no idea what to expect from him. Still quite a strong side in there. Lots of arrows. Krosa's an interesting one. Not something I know much about, to be honest.
Well, there he is in all his glory. And to be fair, attributes-wise, not
Decent,
a bad player at all.
Yeah, decent, yeah.
Signed for 100k from East Coast.
Nice, yeah.
Not a bad little deal, that. But yeah, so relatively strong bench. Shaw as well had a fair few first team appearances. So there is there is absolutely zero fucking chance Invincible comes on. Poor Danny. He's just happy to be making up the numbers.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's doing because Haggis only named 7 of 9 subs, so I picked the other 2.
I'm still never sure on when your goalkeeper isn't top of that list. That just puts me off.
I know. I got worried I'd done it wrong. I had to look twice. But yes, certainly an interesting tactic. Your track record with Haggis, have you got a good one? Just the one meeting so far ended in a 1-1 draw. Charlotte was man of the match.
He scored 70 minutes. Yeah, we scored early and didn't do a lot. And then, he caught us at the end. It's one of our games in the running as well. So another good game for us.
Well, now's your chance to talk us through your side. And you were one of the few managers who said early doors you were going to take the cup seriously. You were going to be picking first-team players. And for the large part, I would still say this is very much a first-team lineup.
Yeah, there's quite a few in there. I think, and I may have got this wrong because I couldn't see, I think Mendieta is suspended for our next game. So that's why he's out there.
Okay.
Midfield-wise, the way we set up is only certain players. It's difficult to put a winger into that 3 in the middle. So when I started at the start of the season, I was 100% going to play wingers. So my draft was mainly picking up good left and right wingers. And then it didn't really work out for us. We've gone to this. And we've ended up with a midfield full of wingers and just a few central midfielders. So that's kind of why we've gone with this. Boskovic was good for us in the cup. Probably should have swapped him with my reserves this week and never did. So happy he gets another run out tonight. Dida's been great in goal for us in cups and definitely a very good backup keeper for us. And a few others.
And again, you've named quite a strong bench as well in case they're needed.
Yeah, quite a strong bench. The idea being there'll be quite a few swaps, I think, depending on what's going on. But I tried to just cover most positions with it and then a couple of players that could do with some games.
Okay. How confident are you feeling having seen the Haggis lineup?
Not entirely confident, but I think this is a bit of a free hit, really, isn't it? It's not the normal pressure, I don't think, especially at the moment. As we said, a draw is the very last thing that both of us want. So, yeah. And given this is your first full season in charge, what would it mean to get to the cup final, particularly at the expense of the defending Super League champions? Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, as I said, I took it quite seriously. It's the first time the cup's been played as well. So to have, first cup winners, that's going to bit of history. So Haggis probably want that as well. I was always going to take it quite seriously. I probably, going back now, if we'd done it again when I saw people had handed teams over, then this probably should have been Martin's. But yeah.
You take the glory, mate. You make the decisions, you take the glory. Well, I won't ask you for prediction. I'll just say good luck and good luck to Ian, who's made it time to watch as well. As we kick off the second semi-final in the CMSL Cup. Gazelles hosting Haggis. Pizarro, Goes down, tripped by Anderson. Mendieta with a free kick just wide. Gazelle's coming out the blocks quickly. Now Binotto still has it going down. Elber, Uliana gets in the way though, and it's a corner kick, which Mendieta managed to clears. Both sides trying to get forward in the opening exchanges. Already more entertaining than the first game. Dan looking intently on, I can see. Taking it all in. Don't tell me this is just a friendly and it doesn't matter. Mendieta live gets in the way. 27 now on the clock. Radoy, Vargas, but Krosa picks up now Jafar, but Nedved now gets it. He's booked though for the challenge. Off the wall, and Arca tries to set up a counter. Hedman gathers the ball. Now both teams just kind of playing it about, trying to find that gap. Jafar, Elber, but he puts it just wide, heading towards half-time. Mendieta picking up the loose ball. Still Mendieta, Rivaldo! Oh, it's over the bar. Shake of the head from the manager. And there's the half-time whistle. And are we headed for a second 0-0 tonight?
Can't have a second 0-0. Oh, it's not a lot better.
It's a bit better. That's what we'll go with. It's a bit better. Did you... Obviously, you saw a couple of wasted opportunities there. Elber had a good one from a header as well. You feel there are goals in this game?
Hope so, yeah. Definitely hope so. But,
well, let's start with the away side. And already Ian has said over to you, Rocks. So let's start with the away side. Krosa make his debut. He's doing reasonably well. No one rating higher than a 7. Hedman's still on 100%. He's used 0 energy so far in this game.
We obviously tested him a lot.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think I would be a little bit frustrated if I was seeing Rosicky with these numbers. He's not having the influence on the game. He should be in that position. But as we've said, there are some heavy hitters on that bench to come on and change things. How do we look at this? What have you been happy about from your side's perspective, or sort of what, when you look at these numbers, what concerns you about the Haggis players?
They haven't had a lot of the ball, but by the text, they caused us quite a few problems. So, yeah, that's a bit concerning. The bench as well was a bit of a worry in it, because I can see him saying Shearer and Skull on, so that makes it a different game. Anything good we've done, it seemed that course are cut out. So,
well, while we wait for Rocks to decide, let's have a look at yours. Nedved, the only player on either side to go in the book. Uliana having a good game at the back for your boys. Arca as well, looking dangerous when he does have the ball. Did see him try and set off 1 or 2 counter attacks. Looking at those numbers, though, it's a low involvement, low numbers.
Yeah, not much of the ball going forward, really, is there? No shots from... only shot from Dalmat. That's...
Dalmat, Rivaldo and Mendieta were your shots.
Yeah, I think we'll...
Well, Haggis are making changes first. So, Scholl on for Parfenov. Donny goes behind Elber. Guessing like this. Scholl, MCL. I'm presuming something a bit like this. Rox, if you could just confirm that's what you mean, please. You didn't mention the arrows, but that's just kind of how they were. If that's correct, what do you make of that?
Yeah, he's going for it, and he pushed players forward.
Does seeing it like that alter your thinking?
No, not really. No.
Undo it all, he says. Okay, let's start with you then. What would you like to do?
Can we have Boskovic off for Saviola.
Yeah.
And up front with Pizarro. We'll go 2 up top. I will just go with that for now until 60.
Okay. Right, let's try this again. Scholl comes on for Parfenov. Donny swaps with Rosicky. Then Rosicky swaps with Scholl. Really? No arrow changes or position changes. Oh, hi, Bolton Phoenix. Okay, so Rosicky, who started in attacking midfield, is now playing defensive midfield. Oh, Medina. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. That's better.
Rosicky and Medina swap. Yeah, there we go. I think we've got there. So let's play to 60, see if these changes alter things. Saviola on for Gazelles. Vargas. Bedoy, Uliano. Donny picks it up though. Free kick after the push. Jafar has to go. Deflects off the free kick. Saviola. Stays down. Still Saviola. And still Saviola. Oh, Hedman with a save. Oh, they scored for the corner. Dalmat.
Oh.
It's 1-0 to Gazelles on 49 minutes. And we stop on the hour. 1-0 up, Dan. Got half an hour to defend.
Yeah, Dalmat's an interesting one. I literally put him in there because, as I said, I didn't have many central midfielders. He was there to make up the numbers. He had a decent first game, and I haven't really been able to drop him since.
No. Would you like to do anything else to your team to try and see this out and qualify? Be the first team to qualify for the CSML Cup final?
I want Pizarro out just to save him, but what I do is Oliveira at the bottom, please, and then Oliveira behind Saviola.
Like that?
Yeah, with an arrow, yeah, and Saviola centred.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So back to what we were, basically.
No problem at all. Ian is calling for Shearer time, but Rox is in charge. What happens here? None at the back, maybe, to rescue the cup? Anderson to MCR. Croser to DMC.
He's doing it.
He is as well, yeah. Shearer for Rosicky is stick him up top. Donny Arrow in between. Oh. I was only joking.
I should have kept Pizarro out there, Mac.
He would have had a 0 at the back is confirmed.
Well played, Rox. Nice.
And it gets the manager's approval as well. I mean, it's going to be a nightmare for you because now you should score goals, but you're going to get caught offside at every possible opportunity.
Yep, and I've taken my goal scorer off.
And you've taken your goal scorer off. This would have had implications in the league as well because he could have played into some right form. Oh, it's not finished yet. We're taking the arrows off these pair.
All right, okay. Just in case,
Just in case. Well, with half an hour to go. Yes, arrows off. I've done that. Calm down. Let's resume the action. There's Oliveira. There's Shearer. Arca now. Good tackle. But Arca free in the area and somehow Hedman makes the save. Mendieta with the corner and Hedman again in the way. It's all-out attack for Gazelles. Saviola, Nedved, the flag stayed down. He's hit the woodwork. Saviola again, Radoy. Scholl gets it, and now on the counter. Oh, Scholl puts it over the bar himself. Great football by Haggis. Mendieta, Dalmat. Free kick to Gazelles. Arca with a cross. Dalmat cannot beat Jafar. Here come the home side again. It is all Gazelles, but there's the offside call that we knew was coming. Free kick, Jafar to take. Nedved heads clear. 74 minutes now as Rivaldo picks up the ball. Vargas could not get through that wall of Haggis players. Into the final 10. Arca, Saviola. Oh, it's at the top of the bar. Into the final 5. Krosa, Anderson, offside for 5 minutes have been added on. We're into those 5 now. Oh, there's an injury.
Oh.
Injury for Mehmet Scholl. 2 minutes to go. What do Haggis do here?
What's he got? It's got to be Amoruso up front, isn't it?
Or Albert Luque?
Yeah.
Huge.
Or Danny Invincible?
Get Danny Invincible up there. Could you imagine if he brings Invincible on now and he scores?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it'd be scenes. I think I would celebrate. No disrespect. I think I would celebrate.
I think I would.
I'd be fucking running around the living room if Danny Invincible scores here.
If Danny Invincible comes on and scores, he plays the final.
Oh, it's Amoroso. Boo! Martin's saying, get Danny on. Ian's giving up with 2 minutes to go. Amoroso. There's the final whistle. Congratulations, Dan. You have qualified for the cup final. As Rock says, Invincible can get fucked. Congratulations, Dan. I mean, obviously, with them going none at the back, you had chance after chance. Are you just a bit disappointed it's not more than one?
Yeah, desperate to get Saviola a goal. I think that was his chance tonight. I really thought I could get something out of him. Everybody told me I couldn't, but perhaps I can't. But yeah, really unlucky. Roxon in there. Absolutely went for it. Right thing to do.
Would you have risked going none at the back if you were chasing a final place?
Yeah, in a cup. I probably wouldn't in a league because you wouldn't want a 4 or 5, but in a cup, absolutely. Yeah.
Julio Arca picks up man of the match for this one. Oliveira and Saviola doing reasonable off the bench. Nothing there to be overly concerned about. No injuries either from your perspective. So, job well done.
Yeah, job done. There's a few players. Iliano has been absolutely brilliant for us this year. Really, really good. So, happy with him. Dalmat has been a complete surprise. Yeah, really good.
Decent form down that 7-8-7-8-7 going into this.
Yeah.
As you said, he had a few involvements in non-competitive games. He's played internationally as well, just the once. And yeah, he's come in for a couple of games in the first team and handled himself well.
Yeah, he's done well. Yeah, you always expect a bit more out of Nedved and Rivaldo in there, but yeah, they seem to either one of them or the other one plays, but tonight neither of them did. So.
Duggan says, congrats, Dan and Fairfox to Rox for the adventure. Rox saying, played Dan, give me a franchise and I guarantee more shithousery like that. Ian set up nicely for when we beat them in the league now. Can't even score when we have 0 at the back. So, certainly shots fired there from the losing manager.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see indeed. Let's have a look at the Haggis stats then. And what to make of them. The substitutes not really having any impact on the game. It's probably the most average they've looked all season.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever out of it, were they? It'd be disappointing with Elbert, 8 passes, 4 completed in the whole game. 1 shot. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think they did all right. Yeah, it was.
Well, congratulations, Dan, on being the first manager and team to qualify for the CMSL Cup final. That's huge, huge effort on your part. So yeah, there's your cup semi-finals. If you missed the news at the start, I suppose the main talking point was three sides being fined by the Australian FA for poor disciplinary records. And is the Celtics manager Greavesy under pressure as he gets the dreaded vote of confidence? As for well, actually, before I say, let me take the opportunity, as this is the last show before Christmas, to wish everyone involved in the Super League, managers, assistant managers, international managers, stat men that run Super Six competitions, and just people who watch along. Can I personally wish each and every one of you and your families a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy the whole festive period. If you've got kids, families and stuff, it really is. I know it's quoting song lyrics, but for me, I always found Christmas to be a most magical time of the year. So I genuinely hope each and every one of you enjoy it. As for a Super League schedule, we would next be scheduled to be Sunday, but that's Christmas Day. And as much as Steve may think I'm going to be running a Super League on Christmas Day, that certainly is not the case. So following that would be Thursday. However, I've already got a ticket for Thursday's game as Swindon travel to Northampton. So I will be away doing that. So it looks like you've got a week off, lads. And I will do one on New Year's Day night. So next Sunday, a week on Sunday, I should say. So not to confuse Steve. New Year's Day night, 1st of January 2023, will be the next Super League action. It'll be the next round of league fixtures. It'll be a new year, new optimism, and everyone will hopefully be well rested. Dan, thank you very much for jumping on tonight. Really do appreciate it. As I've said there, I really do hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas. Any final comments from you as the last co-commentator of 2022?
Yeah, hope everybody has a really good Christmas. Echoing what 5 years said, everybody and all their families and everybody that watches along, and especially a big thank you, 5 years as well, from the whole Super League community. Do a fantastic job with us, keep us entertained, and hope you have a really good Christmas. Yeah.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. But so we hope you've enjoyed the hour of cup games. I will get the replay sorted. I will have a look. I will get the replay sorted. But
if you could do it before the day we play Dragons, that'd be spot on. Fiver will be in the post.
No worries at all. I will see what I can do. But from Dan, thank you for joining us for the somehow we've made an hour out of it, Dan. I think we've done all right.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Have a very Merry Christmas from the Super League until 2023. Goodbye.
Good night, all. Merry Christmas.